Hello, we're live.
Well, hello. How are you doing?
Hello, this is M J Dickson. We're on the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre page. And thank you for joining us, everyone. We're just waiting for one or two people to come on now.
No
Usually a
worries.
delayed reaction.
How was your day today?
It's been, I've been working. I've been working right through the lockdown. I work from home, but it's lovely. I do
Oh,
like it. It's something different, isn't it? And
yeah, I've
now
been working throughout as well. So today was a really, really busy day for me, but powered through. So, yeah, getting there. Got a lot of emails.
that's
Very busy.
brilliant. Nick Millay says good afternoon. So thanks
Hello.
for joining us, Nick. That's fantastic of you. Okay, then. So let's have a little bit of a paranormal chat, then, shall we?
Absolutely.
So, where did it start for you, MJ?
Oh my goodness. Um, Long story, really, really short. I grew up in a psychic family. My dad's side of the family were all military. My mum's side were all airy fairy. So I grew up with a really nice balance of completely crazy, speaking to dead people, and very straight and narrow and logical. And I grew up in South Africa, hence the weird accent. And yeah, I moved to the UK like 12 years ago, and I've been investigating over here ever since. Kind of
That's fun.
growing up in a psychic family, just fueled it. So yeah, it's normal everyday life for me.
But when did you realise when you're psychic? Sort of what age was that? Obviously.
I had experiences from the age of 3.
Okay.
So it was really early on in life that I had seen my spirit guides, or I'd seen family members. And growing up in a household where it was very open, it was not weird for me to go up to my mom and go like, "Hey, mom, who's that guy?" Um, and so it was an everyday part of life, literally my entire life. When I got to my early 20s, my mediumship kicked in quite strong, and that's where I started going, okay, so if I can speak to them and hear them, then how can I prove it? Because I feel like I'm going mad. So, or people looking at me like I'm crazy. So, how can I prove the existence of whoever I'm talking to? And yeah, I got into investigating quite early on, and I've been doing it for years.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. But what happened with people sort of outside the family? Did you let on that you had the medium? No,
No,
exactly. It must have been really awkward.
yeah, I mean, growing up in South Africa is completely different to over here or say in America. South Africa, it's still very taboo. Like, you don't talk about mediumship at all. You don't talk about ghost hunting. There is kind of no such thing.
What happened?
I think in South Africa, there's only about sorry, about 2 or 3 investigative teams, and so it was really difficult growing up in a psychic family and having to keep it between ourselves. We couldn't talk about it to anyone outside of our family.
Wow.
And when I got to the UK and I met this woman who was doing angel card readings, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're like me." And so we were chatting, and she was like, "Yeah, do you want my business card?" And I remember thinking to myself, like, "You advertise it?"
Oh,
Like,
wow.
oh my God, this is amazing. And moving to the UK, it kind of felt like I could actually be true to myself. I could be who I am, as a psychic medium. So it was, yeah, not allowed to talk about it back home, and people still give you funny looks when you're in South Africa. So I tend to not talk about it there at all.
It is better now because it is more open, isn't it? Like it must have changed. Like over here, it changed with Most Haunted, when people
Mhm.
realised you could go out and then you get the mediums on the show. So it's more mainstream now compared to obviously, and then obviously in South Africa, it's like, wow. We've got Gary Fields join us, Patricia Gerald Freeman, the Spooky Sisters. Hi.
Hey,
Thanks for
Spooky Sister.
joining us, everyone. Uh,
I believe it was Spooky Sister number 102. Can't remember. I think Jeanette was her birthday the other day. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah, I saw everything. Yeah, it looked really good, the party.
Oh, I didn't
Everything
see
like
any.
laid out in poses, whatever. Yeah, it was great.
I remember
Oh, I've
seeing some.
got the paranormal detective on as well. James
Ooh,
Chicker. Yeah,
oh, hello.
hi, thanks for joining us. If there's anything you want to ask MJ, if you just add it to the questions.
Yes, send me questions. I love them.
Well, I sort of noticed during the lockdown, you were always busy.
Yes. I have about 20 odd projects on the go at any given time. So I usually jump between them constantly. It's always a madhouse. I can tell you that much. Aside from organizing paranormal conventions in England as well as in the States, and then doing television filming or writing my book or hosting investigations, or just there's always something to go do constantly.
I just see it on your timeline. It's just absolutely crazy. It really is. We've got Ness as well. Ness Watts. Thanks for joining us. Ness is in the Sage Tribe. And Gary. Gary wants to know if there's any amazing buildings you'd like to investigate in South Africa.
Oh, good question. Yes. There are places like Robben Island where Nelson Mandela was, the jail.
Oh,
I
wow.
would love to investigate that jail. There are a few old asylums and old abandoned hospitals that I would just absolutely love to investigate. It's really funny because in South Africa, it's not the usual kind of creepy places that you think would be haunted. It's places like a really nice 5-star lodge that's in the middle of the game reserve, and people are having experiences there. No one understands why, because
Okay.
there's never been like any real deaths or murders or anything at the location that you would usually associate with the haunting. It's all like nice and peaceful, unless it's just like Grandma Joe. There's nothing
Wow.
really. It's not your usual places that are haunted. It's
That's so
very.
strange.
It's
So why
really
do you think that happens then?
really not sure. I couldn't tell you. I mean, if you look at something that I'm really interested in, that comes to play in a lot of the hauntings or cases in Southern Africa, is witchcraft. So
Right. Okay.
witchcraft is a really big thing down there between the African people. So as you would have voodoo in New Orleans, or paganism and that, here in South Africa, it's a real blend of like hoodoo, voodoo, your standard witchcraft, and all sorts of different. I don't even know how to explain it. It's a melting pot of cultures that have brought all their witchcraft together. So it's very, very
Wow.
different. And things like, for instance, if you have an issue with somebody and you go to a Southern African witch doctor called a Sangoma, you could ask them to curse whoever you have an issue with,
Okay.
but they would do so by maybe um, calling up a spirit that they call a tokoloshi.
Right.
They'll send the tokoloshi to kind of do their bidding and haunt you. So a lot of the hauntings and things come from witchcraft superstitions and that sort of thing. A lot of people still believe they're being terrorized by tokoloshis and all sorts. It's very
Wow.
different. Yeah, it's very
Can
cool.
you can you be terrorized as a family then? Can there be curses on families, things like that? And then
Absolutely.
like whoever's born into it, they just wow.
Yeah. So it's funny because I usually do a talk on Southern African cryptids, and we would class the Tokoloshi as a cryptid mystical being. And you have things like our version of the Loch Ness monster, which is called the Nyami Nyami. It's just really fun to
Right?
say. Um, or like the lightning bird Impundulu. So I actually do some talks about African cryptids and the hauntings and legends that surround them.
Wow. That sounds so cool. It's so interesting. Like obviously we all know about Loch Ness, but there's
Yeah.
there's Georgian dragon in there ish. But it's not that many, or the Welsh dragon, but there's not Not that much in the UK, really, is there? But so
There's it, but it's not as mainstream as Nessie, so it doesn't
yeah,
get the limelight much.
that's the main one, isn't it? Have you ever been scared at a location?
Yes. Absolutely yes. You just made me think of when I first started investigating in the UK. I was at the White Swan Hotel in Henley and Arden.
Right.
At the time, I was very new to investigating, but also my mediumship was kicking in really strongly. So it was still so new to me to be able to pick up when someone stood right here. And we were in the upstairs bathrooms at the White Swan, and it was ever so creepy, pitch black, and we were doing EVP. So I remember standing there, and it got really, really tense. Like the whole atmosphere in the bathroom went really tense. And I was standing there with a recorder, and someone went, "If you're here, could you make a sound and just let us know that you're in here with us?" And at that moment, the damn automatic air freshener went off right next to me.
Fantastic.
They had to peel me off the ceiling.
No way.
It was really bad. So I will probably never live that down, because everyone that was there still teases me about it. But yeah, no, definitely have been scared at certain locations. I've had some interesting experiences at Drakelow tunnels, for
Yeah.
instance. I think not so much scared for what's there, but in certain situations I've had really odd things happen. For instance, the last investigation I did at Drakelow, anyone who knows the location, the door is solid, the main end, and that was latched, and we'd heard a noise, and I ran towards the door, and it was open, and I literally, my heart hit my stomach. But it wasn't, oh my God, what's opened the door? It was, oh my God, the safety of the people in the place. Has somebody tried to break into the place, or that sort of thing? But no, Drakelow is, I think, the one place that's scared me. I've had a couple experiences there that interesting. I was alone in Drakelow tunnels, completely on my own.
Oh
in
my
Drakelow.
gosh, that's a bit much. I'd get lost. At least you know your way around it.
I can tell you now, it wasn't fun. We had just finished an investigation, a public investigation, and all my team members were packing stuff in the cars outside in the car park, like right at the far end of the drive. They'd carried some stuff through with the trolleys, and they were busy packing it away. And I was alone in the tunnels after investigating all night, and it was really active. And I was busy packing a few things up, and I heard footsteps run past me. So sort of the back of the base room, the kitchen area at the back. So these footsteps ran through that kitchen area, and the door slammed really down. And the one light that I had on, the batteries drained, so it was pitch black.
Oh wow.
So needless to say, it was scary. I left very quickly.
Don't blame you, really.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, because I think last time I was there at Gary Fields, there's something like nasty in one of the kitchen areas, wasn't there? So we kind of left because it was just getting a bit too much, really, and potentially dangerous.
You know, we actually caught a really good EVP the day that we were investigating with Gary that said his name. And it's still one of the loudest EVPs I've ever heard. It sounded like somebody shouting directly into the recorder. And what was interesting is that we had 3 recorders next to each other, and it was only on one of them.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool.
You have some amazing EVPs, though. You're the EVP queen.
It's my favorite tool. It's my absolute favorite tool. I mean, the thing is, from one single EVP, you can tell if the person you're communicating with is male or female, or are they kids? Are they teenagers? Are they, an elderly gentleman or lady? You can tell sort of the time period from whatever words they're using, the way they're speaking. You can tell if they're angry, are they happy, are they feeling really sad or lost, or so you can tell so much from just one or two EVPs, just learning how to ask the correct questions.
That's the one though, isn't it? The correct questions. Because time and time again you get these events and like, yeah. They must be bored of some of them.
Well, so this is the thing. If you think about it, anytime you ask an EVP question, put yourself in that spirit's shoes. How many times have you been asked that same question every Friday and every Saturday night with groups that are in and out of that building? And the worst thing you can do is talk about them in past tense or ask them, how did you die? Do you know you're dead? Well, that's a bit of a conversation ender, isn't it? I don't want to
It's
talk
a bit rude, isn't it?
Yeah.
Walk into somebody's house and go, how did you die? Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think I get a lot more EVPs because I approach it as if I'm walking into a bar. And you don't walk into a bar and go, if there's anyone here, would you like to communicate with me? People are going to stand in the bar and look at you like, weirdo. You know, so you don't do that when you're doing EVPs. You know, you want to pull up a chair, sit down, pull up an extra chair for whoever's there and go, hey guys, my name's MJ. I'd love to have a chat with you guys. Tell me something about yourself. And anytime you're asking questions, make sure you give as much information as you expect from them. So if you're a mom and you've got 2 kids and you want to find out if whoever's there that you're talking to, if they have any children. So you wouldn't just say, have you got any kids? And wait, because a conversation is a two-way thing. So I would say, so I've got a son and a daughter and they're 6 and 8. Do you have any children? So you're offering something in return. Otherwise, it just sounds like you're sitting there barking questions. So I think that's why I get more EVPs. It's just a different approach to it.
You do get EVPs every time. Well, every time I've been with you, you've got some class A EVPs. Okay, your voice recorder is the tops. But
it is, but but it's not just about the recorder though. I mean, I do have the Panasonic DR60, but then I also use my Olympus WS811. And do you know what? I've got some incredible Class A EVPs on that. I've got EVPs on my phone. When I forget my recorder somewhere, because I have a bad habit of putting it down, letting it record, and then I realize, don't have a recorder on me now, because I'm somewhere in the middle of Drakelow tunnels and I've left a recorder lying somewhere.
Yeah, standard.
Yeah. So, you know, get somebody to go like, hey, have you got your phone on you? Make sure it's on airplane mode. Ask a few questions and you can get EVPs on your phone. It's how you're doing it. It's your intention.
Yeah.
If your only intention is to get a Class A EVP and impress the people that are there, you're not really going to get a response. If you genuinely want to know about whoever's there, they'll feel that. They understand your intent.
Yeah, that's right. And also, like, I've been on events and, like, are there any spirits there? Like, that's a question everyone asks, isn't it? And, like, you told me that one. I think you told me off.
Yeah.
You told me off of correlated spirit.
But I keep telling people, what if they don't see themselves as spirits?
Yeah.
What if they know they're dead? What if they don't like being referred to in the past tense? I wouldn't like it. If I was on the other side and someone came to have a chat with me and they really wanted to get to know me, I'm going to be really excited to just talk and tell them everything, tell them my story or why I'm still there. But the moment they go, how'd you die? Well, maybe let's start with like the easy questions first. Let's build up some trust here.
That's right.
Let's build up a bit of a rapport with each other before you just launch into the nitty gritty of things. You know, you wouldn't ask such a personal question to somebody you've just met. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But how do you think they see us? How do they perceive us?
Really interesting question. I have, on several occasions, I've asked spirits if they see us as shadow people. And I've got Class A EVP saying yes. Or
Mm-hmm.
asking them, how do we look to you? And a lot of the times it says shadows.
Yeah.
So it made me think, what if when we're doing our investigating and you are, everybody's guilty for this, by the way, I used to do it, when you have your REM pod, right? And you'll stand in a circle in a dark area, a little dark room. You put your REM pod down on the floor in the middle of everybody, and you're holding your EVP recorder, digital recorder in your hand, and you go, could you come up to us and touch this light, make it light up, and come and talk to us? But they're standing at the doorway looking at you, thinking, there's 10 freaking shadow figures standing in a circle. If you were in that position, would you walk in between 10 shadow figures and go and
Yeah,
touch little lights and things that you don't know what they do?
that's a good point. I've
You know,
actually
you,
opened doors in the past because I felt like somebody was behind a door, so I've opened the door, like, come in, come and join us, things like that.
absolutely. Yeah. So what I usually do is I put all my equipment in or near doorways, because you can either, you're giving them the choice. You can stand at the door and kind of test out the REM pod and stuff, and see how it works for yourself if you want to. You don't have to walk into the middle of a whole group of people and perform, because that's not what it's about.
Yeah,
You're
that's
there to.
right.
So equipment placement on investigations is another really big thing people need to look at a bit more.
Yeah, because generally it is a standard thing, isn't it? Like people
Mm-hmm.
go on investigations, they learn different techniques, and then they just carry on doing that for years, and they don't always think outside the box, do they? I was
You know, I,
involved.
oh, sorry. I was going to say, when it comes to EVP as well, I have, or any instrumental trance communication, spirit boxes or whatever device you're using, I have spirit box responses and things where they're saying demon, devil, that sort of thing. And everybody on the investigation, and this is going back 2012, yeah, probably about 2012, where I had everybody that was listening to these spirit box responses that were crystal clear, saying demon, devil, etc., etc. And I thought, well, what if that person is from the 1600s
Yeah,
and they've never seen a spirit box before, or they've never seen flashing lights and things before, and they're calling you a demon,
yeah,
they're calling you a devil, because what you're doing is foreign to them. So they're saying devil, you're like, oh my God, the devil's here. Ah, panic, hashtag it's a demon. Meantime, they on the other side going, what are they doing? That's witchcraft, you're a devil. So
that's
it's
right. Because it is like witchcraft to them, isn't it? You know, that's against their religion and everything. Yeah,
exactly. So it's perspective, it's how you have to look at things from both sides. So look at it as an investigator, but then also put yourself in the shoes of the spirit that's there, and maybe
yeah,
the time
that's
period.
brilliant. Hi, Viv. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Alberta. Thanks, Craig Stanton. Thank you. If you got any questions, if you add them to the chat, I'll try and add them. The Spooky Sisters like to put a REM pod behind them or out of sight, and it's interesting if it goes off. That's a good one. And you can forget about it then, and it does go off. You think, what the?
Yeah, happened a few times.
I had a particularly noisy one as well, and it was
Oh,
a laser grid. I think you've heard it.
yep, I remember.
Yeah.
That alarm nearly gave me a heart attack.
I may as well. I kept forgetting about
Oh,
it all the time.
it was great. That's one leave in the middle of Drakelow tunnels and you'd hear it from the base. Be
You
awesome.
would, wouldn't it? I just can't switch it off now. Well, I switch it on and it just beeps. I have to sort the batteries out because maybe I need to sort that one out. It won't stop beeping.
Probably low battery.
Okay, I've got a question from Craig Stanton. Have you had an investigation in old jails and do you get more activity?
Yes. So my most terrifying experience that I ever had was actually in a jail. I was investigating Budman Jail down in Cornwall,
Right.
and I was there with Richard Estep, who, for
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, he's a paranormal author. His books are fantastic. And we were actually doing an investigation as part of the research for Richard's book about Budman Jail, and I believe it's called The Hanging Pit.
Yes.
And it's released really, really soon. And so we were in Budman Jail for 2 days investigating, and I had gone down to the basement to do some EVP sessions with a couple other people. And the basement level, there's a really creepy cell. And there was just something about the cell that I just couldn't deal with it. It was so dark and just ominous. But anyway, we eventually decided that would be the best place, obviously, because you have the weirdest feelings, to go and do some EVP work. And I was live listening at the time. So I had my headphones plugged directly into one recorder, and I was asking best sessions with a different recorder at the same time. And I felt something, I had my hair tied back, and I felt something sort of move the back of my head. And I thought it was my headband from my headphones that had slipped, until I realized that it was actually like these big sausage fingers that went up against the back of my skull and grabbed my head. I don't think there have ever been so many nopes, no's, and swear words strung together in one single outburst. It was like literally Tourette's.
Oh, wow.
The recording's actually kind of funny because it was a string of swear words, and I took rather large steps out of the cell. It was just really, it was one of my creepiest moments because I could actually feel the fingers right against my skull. And yeah, it's hands down one of the creepiest experiences I've had. But I am really excited to do Shepton Mallet Prison next year.
Yes.
I've booked it for 4 days, actually.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Are they over different weekends? So I'm going to come to one, definitely. I'm going to plan my holiday around it.
2 nights are public events. It'll be a Friday and a Saturday night. They are in May. There's the 14th and the 15th of May. And then Sunday night and the Monday night, it's just a handful of us. We're doing some private research.
Yeah,
so I'm
lovely.
like super.
Yay, that'd be fantastic for you. Hi, Yvonne. Thanks for joining us. Right, okay, here's an interesting question from Sophia Alana Preston. What can one do if they're living in a haunted house?
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
What can one do if they're living in a haunted house?
Oh,
that's an interesting one.
So the very first thing I say to anybody, do not investigate your own house, please. The reason I say don't investigate your own house is, number one, you don't actually want to know what's there because you'll probably never sleep again. Number two, the more you investigate your own house, you have to remember that by doing this, you are inviting more and more and more. So you could, when people realize, and I say people, I mean on the other side, when they realize that you're trying to communicate with the other side, and maybe it's a passerby that is not haunting your house, but they see you doing this communicating and these sessions in your own home, and they kind of go, well, I want somebody to hear my story. You can attract more and more and more into your house. So you can amp up the activity in your own home, and then it can be a problem to get rid of it. Because I live in a haunted house. I know what it's like. I speak from experience.
It's quite a character, though.
Sorry.
Yours is a character. The one in your old house.
Yeah, Jenkins. Jenkins was my interesting ghost. He was great. I actually got along with him. But, you know, if you're living in a haunted house and you're feeling uncomfortable, there are so many things that you can do to cleanse your home. You know, a lot of people say just sage smudge, burning a sage wand, working your way from the top of the house all the way down. Make sure all your doors and windows are closed, everything except your front door. So whatever's in the house, you kind of want to smoke in each corner of each room, every
Right.
nook and cranny. You want to get sage smoke in there and work your way through the house to the front door. So you're pushing whatever it is out of your house, out the front door, and then you can sage around the windowsills and that sort of thing. Palo Santo is really good for burning as well. Cedar is really good. I usually make a blend of different herbs and things to cleanse my home. I've got crystals above every doorway, every window. Things like tiger's eye or hematite or black tourmaline for protection. So there's lots of
Yeah, I've
things
got
you
a couple of
can
those.
do to protect.
That's brilliant. MJ also makes a range of candles, different things.
Do. I have a shop on Facebook called the Sage Tribe Shop, and I hand make anything from cleansing salts, and these are for your energy. So, for instance, I've got one that I just absolutely love. It's sage and frankincense and a bunch of other herbs and essential oils, and that is purely for cleansing your energy after a paranormal investigation. Because you know
Wow.
we all have a paranormal, you know, the
Oh,
next
yeah.
day you've really drained, or you might have a headache, or you know, you're just feeling a bit under the weather. It kind of feels like you have a hangover, and it's from giving out so much energy throughout the whole night. So this is a really nice bath salts that you can either soak in a hot bath, or if you don't have a bath, you can take a handful of it and sprinkle it in the bottom of your shower and stand on it, and that helps as well. Um, I do room sprays, I do different meditation sprays, cleansing sprays, herbal balms, all sorts of things. So anything witchy and weird that's aimed at paranormal investigators. Yeah.
And we'll like it because it is witchy and weird. That's the thing.
Yes.
Hi,
Yeah, it's
Annalise.
called
Thanks for
witch
joining us.
work.
Brilliant. And you've also got merchandise as well. There's a t-shirt I want. I
I
need
do.
to fill that out. But yeah.
I have 70 designs thereabouts. I mean, there's some really cool ones with like a Ouija board planchette that says paranormal investigator, or a little ghost wearing sneakers.
Yeah.
Um, there's loads. There's tons of different skull designs. There's t-shirts, hoodies, socks, face masks, loads. And you
Look.
again, you can find any of that stuff on the Sage Tribe shop. I always post the link up there that links to the website. If you want to have a look at the website directly, it's sagetribeuk.redbubble.com. But I can post all of those links in the comments after this
Yeah,
video,
I can post the link
so everyone can
afterwards. So
check it out.
yeah, you also do the Sage Paracon, which is absolutely awesome. I went 2 years ago and just loved it. So I had to book for the whole event last year. It's just amazing that we can get
I
up close to everyone and have a laugh.
I love doing the Sage Paracon because there's always this, because I've worked in television, right? People tend to take paranormal investigators that have been on TV and put them up on pedestals. So like they're the most incredible, they're the best, they're the this, that. But you know what? They're normal people.
Mm-hmm.
They have a wealth of knowledge that they can share. They're really down to earth. Well, most of them.
Yeah.
Um, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to bring all of these people from all the paranormal TV shows and well-known people in the paranormal field that have literally decades of experience or really know what they're talking about. You know, these are people that have lectured worldwide or written books or all sorts of things. And I thought it would be so nice to bring them to the convention and put them in a place where all the attendees get to just hang out with them. You know, it's not like, oh my God, the speakers are kept separate because they're VIP. No, no, they're a part of the Sage Tribe. So are
Yeah.
you. So hang out with them for the weekend. Listen to the lectures, ask them questions, have a beer and get on the dance floor and have a good boogie with them at the VIP party. Do you know what I mean? Like, just get to know people. And I wanted to bring the world of paranormal television and everybody that loves the paranormal together in a really fun place for people to learn and network and have fun. And I can't believe next year is our 5th Sage Paracon in the UK, and we've launched Sage Paracon in the States as well. So it's growing massively, and I'm really excited about the speakers that we have for next year, the theme, everybody that's coming, everything. I'm really excited about it. But I, again, have a look at the website, sageparacon.co.uk. Check out the speakers. There's amazing people. Jeff Belanger from Ghost Adventures, Richard Estep, who's the author. Obviously, all of these people.
Yeah, that's right. I've met Richard. I'm actually chatting to him very soon, next Monday.
Oh, cool.
Yay.
I love Richard.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that. So this time next week, I'll be talking to Richard Easter. Wow. That is so cool.
That's awesome. There's, Aaron Singh, there's Greg and Dana Newkirk. If
they are amazing.
Has watched Helen. Yeah, and they're just the nicest people as well. They're so down to earth and just really lovely. So, I look forward to everybody attending. If anyone wants to attend, we've got a handful of tickets left for the UK. It's in July next year. We changed the date.
Last week of July, isn't it? Into August. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yes.
I can't wait.
And so, check the website. Come and join us. It'll be fun. It's a really good weekend.
Yeah, it's just
it's not on your anymore.
It's so memorable, isn't it?
It is definitely memorable. If you can see the wall behind me, all of these photographs are all speakers from Sage Paracon, the whole wall. So that's my office. I call it the wall of shame, but there's people like Katrina Weidman, John Zaffis, all sorts. Chris Fleming, Barry Guy. Yeah, loads of people.
It's brilliant. But you've been involved in some fantastic shows as well, haven't you? There's Paranormal Captured we're aware of in the UK, but there's other things you've done as well.
Yes, so I did Paranormal Captured. That was on Sky TV last year, and it was really fun doing the show. It was a nice different take on not just a paranormal investigation show, but also, reviewing the clips and that sort of thing. It was really fun to do. And then I have worked on other things. So I've worked on a couple of things in the States. What a lot of people don't know is I worked on Paranormal Lockdown with Nick Groff and Katrina Weidman when they came over here to the UK. I was working on the production side, getting all the locations and things together for them. That was my job. And then I worked as a production coordinator. So one of the producers that did a show for Travel Channel called Most Terrifying Places. And that aired October last year in America. And hopefully that'll be coming over here. Because we did a few locations over here. We actually filmed Bodmin Jail, Warwick Castle, Drakelow Tunnels, the Nottingham Haunted Museum.
Oh, yeah.
So we had some... Yeah, so that was very interesting.
That's fantastic.
Shoot.
I had a question earlier I saw come up about where would you like to investigate in the US? Obviously, you've been to quite a few locations now. Is there anywhere specific?
So many. I really want to do the Queen Mary in Long Beach.
My dad worked in the engine room.
I know, we spoke about that.
So cool. Yeah.
I really want to do the Queen Mary. I want to investigate Waverly Hills in Kentucky. Moundsville, that's pretty cool. Eastern State Penitentiary.
Alcatraz.
God, I've gone blank. I'd love to do Alcatraz. Alcatraz, oh my God. Should be really interesting. I've had the opportunity to investigate all around the world, so trying to think of places off the top of my head. I mean, there's places in the UK that I still haven't done that I want to do. I want to go back to Poveglia Island.
Right,
that was cool. Do you know, it's funny. Everybody always says, oh my God, Poveglia Island, Italy, ooh, so creepy because of the history, which, yes, understandable, you know, being the plague island and that sort of thing, and the insane asylum and all of that. But there's actually another island that's probably about 20 minutes by boat from Poveglia, and it's called San Servolo. San Servolo Island is one of the original asylums, and it's still standing. So you can go on tours. It's now a museum. The whole insane asylum is a museum. And you can actually go on tour, walk around it and stuff legally, unlike Poveglia Island, which is illegal to go to, and you could get arrested. Trust me, I know.
I didn't realise that. No way.
Yeah, you can't. You're not allowed on Poveglia. It's completely off limits. I've been twice, very illegally.
Shh. Whoops.
A while ago.
Things happen.
Ask for forgiveness.
Sorry about no.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so you can't actually get onto Poveglia Island, but we did San Servolo Island last year, and it was more active and it felt a lot heavier than Poveglia did. So if anyone goes to Venice and you want to go check out something really, really cool, definitely check out San Servolo Insane Asylum. It's actually way cooler than Poveglia.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely want to try that one out. So what do you think about the pyramids or something like that? Would you ever like to go somewhere like that? I like the Mexican pyramids. Do you think you'd get more?
Actually been.
You've been to investigate?
Yeah. Yeah, I was in Mexico investigating in 2017.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe 2016. Somewhere around there. I did Mexico, Belize, Honduras, Grand Cayman. Where else? It was a really interesting trip. But we went to the Mayan pyramids and things and all sorts.
Chichen Itza and Uxmal and stuff. Wow, that's on my bucket list. It really is. Yeah, I went quite a few years ago, and that's before I did investigating. So now I just want to go there one day.
Now you want
to and investigate? Yeah, oh my gosh.
I'd love to do the pyramids in Egypt. That'd be really interesting. But the problem is, I totally believe in curses.
Yeah.
So, knowing my luck going to Egypt, I'd probably end up cursed. I mean, I've been to Egypt before, but obviously never investigated. I really want to investigate the White House in the States.
Yeah.
That's on my bucket list. I want to do an EVP with Abraham Lincoln in the White House.
Good luck on that one. Don't know you're going to achieve that, but just go for it and see.
What are you thinking?
Imagine.
You never know.
I'm sure somebody will just let you in. Be fine.
Oh,
that's fine.
Dead people not doing anything wrong.
No, not at all. Just going through the door, and why not?
I could make a joke about it,
I won't.
I had the opportunity to visit Washington, D.C. when I was over in the States last year, and just the security outside the White House, not even anywhere near it, just outside, I was like, there is no ways you're getting a recorder in there. Yeah. No ways. The red tape would be incredible to even try and get an electronic device of any description into that place. I'd love to do that. So, I'll try. We get arrested, but
definitely. Gary Fields says, if you go back in time, where would you like to go? What time period? That's a
Damn.
nice one, Gary.
Stop asking questions. I would definitely love to go 1920s.
Right.
I don't know why, and probably prohibition in America. I don't know why. I couldn't even tell you why. I am obsessed with Great Gatsby. If you haven't realized from the Sage Paracon
I
theme
guess.
next year being a ghostly Great Gatsby gala, I am literally obsessed with the 1920s. So yeah, that would be the time period. And to be honest, either in the UK or in the States, that's the first place I'd go and visit.
Oh,
And then
sounds...
probably Salem around the witch trials. I'm going to go set some things straight. That time period, and I put some things, I'd probably end up being the first one hanged for witchcraft. But, you know.
Yeah. But you sort of like that area anyway, don't you? How many times have you been?
Oh, God, I couldn't tell you. I go to Salem every year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I am speaking at Salem Paracon. So Salem Con is held at the historic Hawthorne Hotel, which is like pretty much in the middle of Salem. And it's breathtaking. And I know there are a lot of people in the Sage tribe. There's probably about 40 of us that are flying over together next year. And we're going for a week. So we're going to go and do the convention and just go sightseeing and just explore Salem. I absolutely love it, because every second shop is like a witchy apothecary shop. So there's herbs and all sorts that you can't get here in the UK. So I'm forever buying stuff there and then shipping it back here. Right? I go for my witchy shopping trip once a year.
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, I'll be speaking at Salem in April.
Oh, that's so fantastic. But you've always got so much on. You're writing a book as well, aren't you? How's that coming on?
It's almost done, actually. Yeah.
Well done.
I'm very
Yay.
excited. My only thing now is I do have a publishing deal for it, but I'm really considering self-publishing it.
Right, okay.
I'm kind of torn between to publish or to self-publish right now. So I have a very interesting conversation about that coming up with Richard Estep soon. But he's published obviously so many different books, but then he's also self-published some. So I'm just gonna be going through. He's actually written a whole book about it, which I'm just gonna buy his book.
Yes,
to him about it.
I heard about that. Yeah, I think I need to look at that.
He was inspired to write that book because of his lecture at Sage Paracon, because so many people loved Richard's lecture at Sage Paracon about how to get published in the paranormal field, or just how to get published, really. He inspired so many people in the Sage tribe to write a book. And I know there are several people who have finished writing their books, who are having them edited at the moment. Mine is being edited in a few weeks' time. I've kind of self-edited a bit, but my editing skills are... So, yeah. And my book is pretty much about experiences I've had from childhood. But they were all kind of my aha moments. So the first time I realized that spirits could move things, manipulate electronic devices, switch a kettle on, switch a TV on. The first time I realized that they could physically touch you, scratch you, whatever the case. It's sort of all my aha moments of all the lessons I learned all the way through growing up, developing my mediumship, as well as investigating. So it's a really broad spectrum of interesting, well, I think are pretty interesting things that have happened. And I hope that whoever reads it can then relate to some of the stories and go, well, hey, I've had an experience that was really similar to that. So that explanation kind of makes sense to me. And if people learn anything about investigating, then that's a bonus.
That's right, because you find in paranormal that you have these things happen. Like I had a bit where I had this like glitter above a Ouija board once. And I like looked at it and I thought, I blinked and it was still doing it. And it's like, what the hell? And then I mentioned it on social media and somebody else had had that. But it's like, wow, it's not just me then. And paranormal is just so
Exactly.
random, isn't it? But
Absolutely. I mean, for instance, when I started writing my book, one of my earliest experiences was with a hat man, seeing this tall figure wearing a top hat, etc., etc. And I always thought, like, it's a spirit guide, it's normal, whatever. And the older I got, and the more I started researching, the more I bumped into people who described seeing a hat man that was very similar to mine. Like my cousin described the exact same person. And then doing research for my book and stuff as well, I came across a post on social media, somebody saying, has anyone had an experience with a hat man before? And there were like 400 comments of people going, yeah, I saw this, I saw that. And I was like, oh my God, now I have to go down this rabbit hole and just research the hell out of this, because there are so many more people who have had those experiences. So by sharing things like that, you realize that you're not alone. There's so many other people out there that have similar experiences.
yeah, the spooky sisters have had the glitter as well. It's like awesome, oh, it's just so beautiful to see. Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
that's three of us then, isn't it? Hi, Richard Martinez.
That's
Thanks
cool.
for joining us. If anyone's got any more quick questions, then we haven't got long left. Sophia mentions shadow figures as well, because they're always, you usually see them out and about, don't you?
Shadow figures are the emos of the spirit world. I think they're just really understood. I don't think all shadow figures are malevolent, or because of TV and, God forbid, Zach Bagans, everything's a demon. So every shadow figure is a demon, is demonic, it's going to attack you. And I don't think that's the case. I think sometimes they only have enough energy to manifest that way. Instead of being, for us to be able to see them as like a full person just stood there, I feel like a shadow figure is the closest you get to that manifestation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had good and bad experiences with shadow figures, so
Yeah. I kind of see things like hanging around in the background, or you sort of catch them under a door or something like that. Like Sophia Preston says, they're dangerous. Well, they're just energy, aren't they? And it's just like any
yeah,
person,
I mean,
isn't it?
exactly. So I think what people need to remember is, just because they're showing as a dark shadow or a white misty figure doesn't mean they're good or bad. The color's got nothing to do with it. It's the type of manifestation, and it's the amounts of energy that they're putting out there. And I think just horror movies and Hollywood and really bad paranormal shows have demonized shadow figures and that sort of thing, and made people scared of them. I don't think they're dangerous. I don't think. What I do believe is, just as you have good and evil in our world, you've got rapists, murderers, serial killers,
Mhm.
whatever, who could be walking amongst all of us. And I mean,
Yeah,
your next door neighbor could be a serial killer, and you couldn't know a thing about it. You know what I
that's
mean? That we're all together on the same plane. And I feel like on that side, it's the same thing. So just as you have good and evil here, you have good and evil side by side there. I don't think that if you are a serial killer in this life and you go to jail, you die, you get to the other side, I don't think all of a sudden you are Gandhi. You're not going to turn into an absolute angel. You're still, like everybody else, going to have your same personality, your same thought patterns, your same whatever, your same, just everything about you is the same on the other side. My dad, when he comes through as a psychic medium to me, when my father comes through, he has the same sense of humor. He has the exact same personality. His sense of humor is probably actually a little bit better since he's been on the other side, to be fair.
that's him.
Still tells really crap dad jokes. Um, and I feel like that's the same on the other side. If you're investigating an old jail and there were people there that were locked up for all sorts of heinous crimes, their personalities, if they're there, are still going to be the same. So you're still dealing with a bit of an a-hole. You know, not that it's a demon, just a bit of a dick.
Yeah. Plenty of them about, living or dead, aren't there?
Yeah. just the way I look. So I hope that answers your question. No, every shadow person is dangerous. Some of them could be.
Well, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think they can injure you? Like, I know people have been scratched, but
yeah. I mean, I've had experiences where in some extreme instances where I've been scratched really badly. And what was really interesting was at the time that I was scratched, we'd captured an EVP of a female voice saying scratch and a male voice saying don't scratch right after each other, like they were talking to each other.
Was I there?
And it was,
I might have been. I think I might have heard that. I might have been there. Don't know. Not sure.
That was in Salem. The Class A EVPs were in Salem, but we had that somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Wasn't it the Nottingham Museum?
I wasn't there. I don't know if something happened at Haunted Museum or even Draco. I know something tapped you on the backside, and they admitted that. That was a bit.
That was that Draco. That was the Draco where I. Oh my god, it was so creepy. That was horrible. I had a hand run up my thigh, the back of my thigh, and onto my bum. And I just stood there and froze. And then I said that somebody had just touched me, and Wayne was investigating with us, and he said, don't tell us where. And he asked the question, where did you just touch MJ? And when we played the recorder back, it said her leg. And it was really clear. It was really creepy.
He apologized as well, didn't he? You got an apology.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely amazing.
I told him off for touching my bum without permission.
And he apologized on EVP. That was just so cool.
We had a EVP in Salem when I was there with Carl Hutchinson, and we were doing an EVP session in the Hawthorne Hotel in the library, and Carl sneezed. And when we played the recording session back, you heard Carl sneeze, and then you heard someone go, Carl, bless you. And it was so clear. Fantastic. I was like, oh, that's really nice.
Oh. Well, I've got to end the show now. It's really flown by. And thanks for joining me. It's been fantastic. And thanks, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for having me on and for the good questions. That was awesome.
Thank you. It's just been lovely. Next week, I've got Richard Eastep, which is like so awesome. And following the show, we've got Neil and the discussion show. Okay, thanks for joining us, everyone, and goodbye. Thank you.